The facial action coding system, or FACS, is another deception detection strategy. It is different from the polygraph, and then you don't have to be hooked up to a whole bunch of wires, blood pressure cuffs, all that. And certainly you just look at somebody's face. People oftentimes when they're lying try very hard to present themselves in a certain way. And the theory of FACS is that regardless of how hard somebody tries to present themselves, they will have these, what they call micro expressions, these subtle, nonverbal facial expressions that can be detected if you're looking for them. The theory goes that these are universal. It doesn't matter what language you speak or what culture you're from, that the expressions should be consistent across. The theory is that they can be observed and rated. And so what you have is, even though you're putting on this face, there's just this ultimate leakage of concealed emotions. The average person is guessed to be about 50% accurate, so it's chance whether you're really going to be able to detect whether somebody's lying to you or misrepresenting something. But then there are some people who, per the theory, have just kind of an innate ability, maybe they're a little bit better, but also more likely than not, they've had training through the facial action coding system. And these people are gauged as are called wizards. They're 80% accurate per the research. So they're specialty people with an innate ability plus the training. You can actually get certification through testing to be a FACS rater. So this is certainly something that's very common. I actually have some familiarity with it because my master's thesis supervisor was a student of Ekman, the person who kind of really pushed this coding system. And so that came up in a lot of our research discussions, thinking about gauging microexpressions and that sort of thing. So I find it very interesting. And you can actually go online and there's huge pages of like what a expression might look like, what a microexpression might be, like curling your lip or raising your eyebrow or that sort of thing. So some of the critiques of FACS, one is that it's not as universal, or these micro expressions are not as universal as originally thought. Another one is that whole body language is not considered. We're only looking at the face and we're not looking into any of the other nonverbals. And since so much of communication is nonverbal communication, only looking at the nonverbals of the face is not sufficient per some of the critiques. Also, there's no context. We look at these pictures on the left here, and we have no context for what's going on. I just see somebody who looks really angry. I see some people who look really sad. I see somebody who looks maybe confused / sad. And so the argument is if we don't have context, we really can't put any value or worth on the ratings we're giving. And then also the impracticality of rating. You have to, sit somebody down and record them and then go back and have a rater do it, make sure that they're well trained. And then even then, at the very best, maybe we'll get up to an 80% likelihood. So the impracticality of rating. That last one has actually been addressed to some degree, and that now they have computer software that does it. And so the fact that they have this computer software, it's almost automatic. It kind of first takes like a facial map of what you look like, and then as you're speaking during the interview, it gauges how much of these things are going on and gives a results printout. So it's much more immediate, and it also makes things takes away some of the training concerns and some of the questions about the degree to which somebody's picked up on these micro expressions or is trained to accurately interpret them. So just related to that, some of those concerns for context, here is the full picture of the faces that we see, and you can see here we have Zion Williamson. He's celebrating a dunk. It's not angry. It just seems like it's excitement, just celebratory. The people on the top right, they're Mexico fans celebrating a win in the World Cup group match. You have Adele winning Album of the Year. So while she just looks really sad, it's actually kind of tears of joy. And then that bottom left one are Justin Bieber fans crying at a concert in Mexico City. So just having some of this context, or at least seeing more of their body, helps give that information. Just quick examples of how the fact system might not fully account for what's going on.